What type of creator would allow such evil and hardship to exist? Another common doubt when people are thinking about God, the creator, or the existence of a creator or not is, well, okay, now we have the modern world, we have modern medicine, we're able to kind of cure diseases, and before that, life was nasty, brutish, and short. Everybody, died in their 30s or 40s, and they had horrible lives. And so, well, that's not even historically true, but even if we assume for a second that it was historically true, maybe in Europe it was historically true. What's responsible? Why? How could a just God, right, allow that to happen? Like, why would he? What type of help is that to the creatures or the creation? What type of creator would allow such evil and hardship to exist? And there's several answers to this question, but the shortest one is that your definition of what's good and your definition of what divine help looks like is strictly limited to worldly help. And it completely neglects the existence of a soul, first of all, what's good for the soul, and it completely neglects what's good for the afterlife. And that's why, it's completely phony and fictitious, the people who say these days that, well, it doesn't really matter what you believe in as long as you're a good person, as long as you're nice to other people. The most important thing is what you believe in. It affects if you're going to be good to somebody else, or even better yet, it affects your definition of what good will look like, okay? Somebody who believes in a soul and who believes in an afterlife is not the same as somebody who doesn't believe in the soul or believe in an afterlife. They are two fundamentally different human beings. They are two fundamentally different moral agents. And the capacity that they have created for moral action is completely different. The person who believes that they're going to be held to account by a perfect creator with eternal consequences, even if they have to do it, grinning and bearing it, like not really liking it, they're going to do the right thing at least more often than somebody who thinks that we're just worm food once we pass away and that life is just it, and then you die and then you've got nothing after that. And if people don't believe this, then they should read history and they should look into history, especially what happens in times of war, what happens in times of famine, what happens in times of chaos. Because it's easy to sit in the first world when you have a full stomach and you have an electricity bill and you have an internet bill and you have Netflix and say, well, everybody, it's all the same. Right? No matter what you believe in, everybody, as long as you're a good person, it doesn't matter what you believe in. Go to the war-torn countries. Go to the countries that experience famine. Go to the countries where there's oppression, banditry, and there's gang violence. There's lots of different things. The people who are doing the right thing, the people who aren't caving into their narrow personal interests, they're the people of faith. They're the people who believe in the soul. They're the people who believe in the creator. And that's not to say that every single person who believes in those things is a good person, because there's a lot of people out there who are deluded, and there's a lot of people out there who are insincere, who are actually hypocrites. But just because that's true, it doesn't mean that faith in itself is to blame or is irrelevant. No, faith is the single most important thing when it comes to creating the capacity for moral action and a moral world.